Alright, so for those of you watching this, thank you for watching this. For this lesson, you're going to need the worksheet that we started in class on Friday on writing and graphing equations. So for those of you who were in class, we started writing equations by using different information that was given to us, either the slope or the y-intercept. In other cases, we simply had a point and the slope. And so today we're going to go ahead and start writing equations in slope-intercept form, given only 2 points. Alright, so a quick review on slope-intercept form is that y is equal to mx plus b. And we know that m is equal to our slope, b is equal to our y-intercept, and x, y are simply points on the line. In order for us to be able to write a line in slope-intercept form, the two key things that we need to know are the slope and the y-intercept. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of our practice problems. Alright, so if we look at the back side, number 19, the directions say write the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line through the given points. So here we're given point 0, -2, and 1, 0. So the information that we need to know is 1, the slope, and 2, the y-intercept, which in this case, neither are given. Let's go ahead and focus on finding the slope. If you guys remember last week, we were able to find slope a few different ways. So if it was graphed, we used rise over run. If we were given 2 points, we used the slope formula, which was y1 minus y2, all divided by x1 minus x2. So let's go ahead and use our slope formula to find our slope. Alright, so looking at my 2 points, I know that y1 is -2. I know that y2 is going to be 0, so it's -2 minus 0. And I know that x1 is 0, and that x2 is going to be 1, so it's 0 minus 1. So now if I take a look at that, -2 minus 0 gives me -2, and 0 minus 1 gives me -1. Quick reminder that whenever we have fractions, we always have to simplify. So a negative and a negative will give us a positive, so we'll get +2 over 1, and that'll be our slope. Next, we have to go ahead and find our b value. On Friday, we learned that in order to find the b value, we simply need 1 point and our slope. Since we already know our slope is 2 over 1, and we have 2 points, we're simply just going to choose one of our 2 points. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and use the first point we're given here, 0 and -2. And so, if you guys recall, we used our formula, y is equal to mx plus b, and we simply substituted everything. Alright, so for our y, we'll go ahead and put -2. And for our m, we saw that the slope is equal to 2 over 1. For our x value, it is 0. And b is what we're solving for. So here we know that anything multiplied by 0 is 0, so this here will cancel out. And we're left with -2 is equal to b. So now that we know our slope and we know our y-intercept, we can go ahead and write our equation. So for this one, we're going to go ahead, remember, our equation is y is equal to mx plus b. So here I would do y is equal to, m is my slope, so it would be 2 over 1, x plus b, which is -2, so it would be -2. And so my equation is y is equal to 2 over 1, x minus 2. Remember, 2 here is a whole number, so another way of writing it, you could write y is equal to 2x minus 2, and that'll be an acceptable answer as well. Alright, let's go ahead and look at example 20. So here, remember, everything, what we need to know in order to write an equation is our m value, which is our slope, and then our b value, which is our y-intercept. So here we're given 2 points as well. So we're going to go ahead and find our slope. So we know to find slope given 2 points, we can just use our slope formula. So here m is equal to y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2. Our y1 here would be 3. Our y2 here would be 5. So it would be 3 minus 5. Our x1 would be 0. And our x2 would be negative 5. So it's minus negative 5. So it's important that you write your parentheses. That way you don't forget your signs. So we have 3 minus 5. That gives us negative 2. And then we have 0 minus negative 5. So remember, a negative and a negative become a positive. So 0 plus 5 will give us positive 5. So here our slope is negative 2 over 5. So now we're left to find our b, which is our y-intercept. So to find our b, we're going to go ahead and use our equation. Y is equal to mx plus b. And then we're just going to pick one point. So here I'm going to go ahead and select my first point. So the y value there is 3. So 3 is equal to the m value is the slope that I just found, which is negative 2 over 5. The x value is 0. And b is what I'm solving for. So here, just like in the last example, anything multiplied by 0 is 0, so that there will cancel, and I'm left with b is equal to 3. So now I know my slope and I know my y-intercept, so then I could simply go ahead and write my equation. So y is equal to mx plus b. So I have y is equal to, m is my slope, so I know that's negative 2 over 5. X, and then my b value is positive 3, so it's going to be plus 3. And that's my equation. Y is equal to negative 2 over 5x plus 3. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and move to question number 27, where we actually have to sketch the graph of each line. Alright, so when I'm sketching a graph of a line, here I'm told on number 27 that y is equal to 6x plus 4. So that's written in slope-intercept form, so I want to remind you y is equal to mx plus b. We know that m is our slope, and so here for this equation, our m is equal to 6. And so we know that because it's in front of the x. And so whenever we have a whole number, I want you guys to practice writing those whole numbers as fractions. So just always put a 1 under it. So it'll be 6 over 1. And then for our b value, we know that that's our y-intercept. And so here, our b value is 4. So once we identify our slope and our y-intercept, just like before, we want to always start at our y-intercept. So here I know that b is 4, so it's positive 4. So I'm going to start at my origin, and then I'm just going to go up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 4 is there. And so then from there, all I'm going to do is go up 6 and over to the right 1. So that's why it's important that when we write our slope, it's in a fraction. Because so remember, the top number is our rise. The bottom number is our run. If the top is positive, then we're going to go up, right? So here the 6 is positive, so we're going to go up 6. And then our 1 is positive, so we're going to go to the right. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then over 1. So I'm going to have a dot there. And then I'm going to do the opposite of that. So now starting back at my y-intercept, I'm going to go down 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then to the left 1. And so that'll give me a second point there. And so now I can simply just connect those to create my line. So this here is the line of y is equal to 6x plus 4. Alright, so now let's go ahead and look at number 28. So I have y is equal to x minus 1. So remember, I'm looking at y is equal to mx plus b. In this case, there is not a number in front of my x, so I know that my m, my slope, is going to be simply 1. And my b value is going to be negative 1. So remember, when I'm graphing a line, the first thing I want to do is identify my slope and my y-intercept, and then I'm going to start my graph at the y-intercept. So I know that my b value is at negative 1. So that'll be here. And then here, remember, my slope here is a whole number, so I'm simply going to put a 1 under it. So my slope now is simply 1 over 1. So remember, the top is the rise, how much I'm going up or down, and then the bottom is the run, how much I'm going left or right. So here, the 1 is positive, so I'm going to go up 1. The run is also positive, so I'm going to go right 1. So that'll give me a point here. And so I can continue that, up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1. And so now I can go in the opposite direction. So I can go down 1 to the left 1. That'll give me a dot here. Down 1 to the left 1. And so if you guys can see, it's starting to create my line. So now I'm simply just going to connect my points. And that's my line for y is equal to x minus 1. Alright, so those are the examples that I have for today. So if you guys can make sure you guys have at least those 4 problems done, and then we can go ahead and get started with our lesson on Monday. See you guys then. Have a good weekend. Bye.